Bună seara, doamnelor și domnilor! Weekendul trecut, în Piața Unirii, am avut un sfârșit de weekend apoteotic. Peste 10.000 de oameni au ascultat muzică, au dansat, s-au simțit bine. A fost a doua zi a turneului Ursus Evolution, care a adus și la Cluj muzica rock, hip-hop și electro, cu nume precum Iris, Les Elephants Bizarre, Paraziții, Zdop și Zdub, Puia, Grasul XXL, Șuie Paparude. S-a încheiat astfel o triadă de evenimente care au prefațat debutul verii la Cluj. 3 explozii de efervescență urbană și comunitară, zilele Clujului, TIF, care aduce lumea la Cluj, Ursus Evolution, iată, ele se constituie ca argumente în campania de persoasiune și farmec a orașului în vederea obținerii statutului de capitală culturală europeană în 2020. Urmând logica fatalității capitaliste în faza sa mondializată, compania Ursus și-a redus considerabil operațiunea sa industrială la Cluj, dar, loială brandului său istoric, Ursus e mai prezent ca niciodată în viața orașului, devenind partenerul privat cel mai important al municipalității în configurarea identității culturale și urbane a orașului în infuzia de energie proaspătă. Această seară l-avem invitat din nou pe vicepreședintele pentru marketing strategic al companiei Ursus, Grant McKenzie. Grant, welcome.
Thank you.
The Vice President for Marketing. You're back again.
I am. I'm back.
You know, Grant, you're like you almost like you're about to match the number of appearances of the mayor of the city or the county president.
I know. It's been a busy time, I can tell you. I feel like you know, half of my life is in.
You are the most favorite Scotsman of local television.
I think I'm the only Scotsman on local television.
And you know, I'm serious now. A lot of people, a lot of viewers ask me. Most ask me about among my guests about you, especially ladies. Don't blush now. Don't blush. So let's talk about our main topic today: beer.
Yeah.
So this wonderful elixir of cooling. It's hot, it's summer, it's hot, so we have a sample here in the studio.
I have something very, very exciting.
Of course, we have to mention that we're not going to touch this, and we advise our viewers that to drink responsibly, beer, inclusively beer, and not to drink and drive.
Absolutely, never, never. Look, what I have in front of me is something really exciting. This is Ursus Nefiltrata, so it's 2 hours old, it's fresh from the tanks. And I brought it here today to show you how an unfiltered Ursus looks like. So this has been 3 months in development. It's been chosen by some consumers in Cluj, as you know.
So this is your premium product that is going to be manufactured in Cluj in the new microbreweries that you're going to launch in about few days, like next week
and a half. Yeah. So this is now in production. So this is some of the first samples. I can tell you it's amazing. But you'll have to wait a few more days before you can find out.
Yeah, of course, we're going to wait with
But for us, this is our flagship product, so it tastes like nothing else we've ever produced. I think it will be a fantastic experience.
So beer is characterized by some few features now that kind of rank the beer now among themselves, like.
Well, there's many features. I mean, obviously, if you go to where I come from in Scotland, to a pub, you have 10 or 12 different varieties of beer, and they're different in terms of colour, smell, what we call gravity, which means how thick they are, alcohol level, and the different kinds of tastes you can enjoy as the beer goes on. And that's given by the type of materials you use, whether you use standard malt, different kinds of malt, caramel malt, which I can tell you, to eat on its own is quite tasty as a snack. The kind of hops, how much hops you put in, and even the water.
It's a whole story of delights here.
It's a big story, and I can tell you that I definitely myself don't make the beer because it's really professional, expert people that know how to do it.
But you sell it, and you are also a master craftsman of the talk about beer. Wow. And today we have also the ability to show the beer. We talk and show it at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the brew people at Ursus make my job quite easy, because when you make beer like this, it's easy to talk about. So
yeah, we talked before about every time you came here about the fabled story of beer and the long story and magical stuff, the secrets of craftsmanship of beer, and the beer goes, the quality, the special taste, the refined taste you were talking about goes hand in hand now with Ursus support, or Ursus backing up in this city the celebrations of culture, communal joy, festivals. So let's start with with TIFF, because TIFF is one of the great event, one of the most important film festivals in Europe right now, and you are behind TIFF for quite a few years right now, and you're going to be with TIFF for a while. How was this year, the festival, for you?
Well, from our point of view, this was the biggest and best festival in TIFF's history. After 10 years, I think it just gets better. I mean, what we've noticed is that it's always been a pretty big event for Cluj, but it's starting to become bigger and bigger in Romania and even internationally. So one or two of my friends in London asked me about the Transylvanian International Film Festival. What we've tried to do is use our scale as a national brand to allow people who maybe can't travel to Cluj to experience some of the TIFF experience through our digital, our website and our assets. So we bring some of the films, we bring some stories from real people in Cluj, sharing their experiences of TIFF. So from our point of view, it's magical. It's one of maybe the biggest event in Cluj, of the year now. So it's great to be part of it. And
it's a novel attempt to wed these two brands. These brands that are so tenacious, so powerful in the world consciousness, like epic consciousness, Transylvania, Dracula. Of course, the beverage Dracula was drinking was of a different color. But
slightly different color, allegedly. I mean, I think it's logical. So what people say is you've got one famous Cluj brand supporting another famous Cluj brand, both of which are starting to become more famous internationally. So it's actually common sense that we get involved. And for us, we're very proud to be associated with TIFF. I think the guys do a great job. I hope we also do a good job for them in terms of building their activation further.
Yeah, but why do you support TIFF, Grant? And we are all aware that there is a very strong connection between the commercial world and film world.
Yeah.
I mean, there are, especially when we're talking about great production, great big budget movies, Hollywood now, there is the concept, so-called the product placement now. And so of course it's not the case, because we're talking about now viewing movies at Cluj, at TIFF now, and distributing them, not producing them yet. I'm sure that time will come when we'll be able to produce films in Cluj, and you'll be around too, Ursus. So what were you hoping to achieve? What were you hoping to achieve as in order to communicate your brand strategy? Well,
for us, we always look at every event in a commercial perspective on a couple of levels. One is it credible for the brand to be involved? So when people see Ursus and TIFF, does it feel right? Is it something that they believe we can contribute? We also look at the medium-term impact in terms of brand image. So being associated with this, does it help our brand image? Yes or no? TIFF, the reason we signed a 3-year contract extension was it clearly helps our image. So what we know around Romania is there's quite a niche but growing fans of film, Romanian but also international film as well. What we call craft film, so not necessarily Hollywood blockbusters.
Exactly.
And there's a story about beer there. So yes, we're a big beer, but we're also a crafted beer. And I think it's a good link because of Cluj, because of the beer, and people, we think we can actually commercialize this. So for us, it makes sense commercially. That's why we do it.
Exactly, and you were so instrumental in this process of urban revival of Cluj. And let's not forget the Ursus Lounge, the heart of the festival, where so many interesting things happen. The whole life of the festival was there. Great actors and directors and critics were giving talks there every day, and also our TV station was present there with transmissions live every day. So how many years from now you still plan to support TIFF?
Well, as long as we can imagine. So we've definitely written a contract for 3 years. Normally in our business planning we don't write beyond that, but I don't see any reason we wouldn't continue for a long time. I mean, it makes sense from our side, and I think the TIFF organisers are very happy with our contribution, because we don't just stick a logo and say here we are. We really try and build it up. We use the network of our pubs. We opened the Battery at Ursus in Piazza Unirii and did the launch party, and to be honest, if a beer company can't do a launch party, then it's probably time to go home, right? So I think they're kind of happy with our contribution, so I think it will go a long time, honestly.
Yeah, Grant, we see now all over Europe there is a youth frenzy from Athens to Barcelona. It's like a revolutionary agitation, it's some anger with the powers that be, with the establishment of young people. But of course you don't have to worry, because the governments, the banks can be worried, but not the beer manufacturers, because revolutionaries still drink beer, and there is need for beer even for social movements and high-strung people. No, but I remember now a story, very interesting, because the most powerful democracy in the world, the United States of America, was born in the beer tavern. As a matter of fact, it's the story of Green Dragon Tavern in Boston, where the Boston Tea Party was formed, and where the first petition for American Constitution was issued. And also, this is not so an accident that one of the founding fathers of America, Samuel Adams, lent his name to one of the better beers. Because we have to say America doesn't have the best beers. And so we all hope that all these guys will switch quick to Ursus. But here in Cluj we are above all these things. We had the revolution 20 years ago, and many people still ask themselves why. We're not sure why we had that, but now we dropped the R and we had Evolution La Cluj. And you're also behind this Evolution La Cluj. It's about musical fest. Last year, as a matter of fact, it was called Ursus Fest.
Yeah.
Why Evolution this year?
Well, this was, we had to do better. So last year we had a great success with Ursus Cluj Fest, but it never makes us happy to do the same again. So we said, what is something we can contribute to the music scene in Romania? Because let's be honest, many beer brands, other brands, are involved in music. And we came up with an idea linked to the brand, which is Ursus is a brand which began in Cluj and evolved to a national and then even international level. And I think what we said was, Romanian music is something we can own, but let's not just talk about the big guys. Let's give little guys, people who are starting out in their career, an opportunity, a stage, if you like, literally a stage, to actually perform in front of an audience. So we decided to mix different genres of Romanian music and different statures of bands. So bands which are very, very famous, well established, bands which are not so well established, and say, we give you a platform, there are going to be 10,000 people there, it's a great experience, there's no better way to learn than to go out and do it. You know, for example, they say part of the success of the Beatles was basically that. They had so much experience in Hamburg of playing live, that's why they were so successful.
I have my own experience in my past that I used to do a little bit for a while as a stage manager for a club. So I was interacting with the troops and bands, and at some point I even contacted a beer brewer, beer maker in Mexico. Not Corona, was with I even forgot the name. Anyway, it's a Mexican beer, because it was about organizing a street fest, and I was hoping that they're gonna send free beer and all that, and it worked partially, but not. This is the point. I wanted to ask you, how do you interact with the bands, with the music creators? Are you in a capacity as a producer or just promoter, or?
No, I mean, we are the promoter, so obviously our job is to make beer and sell beer. We let other people manage music. I think what we try to do is bring experiences. So also with the commercials and the way we commercialize, we don't just put a logo saying here's some bands. We put some very popular commercials where we try to bring a picture of backstage so that people can see how the band might interact at the back. But we're very much about experiences. That's why we chose the centre of town, because we wanted a more intimate experience, you know, for all of the audience to enjoy it, not just in a big car park or something.
Still, Ursus is in a position now to be the promoter of the, like a top promoter, avant-garde promoter of the best Romanian pop music. How did you get to this point?
Well, we think that's something that we can credibly own and actually encourage. So many people consider Ursus to be the best Romanian beer, Romanians and international. And I think, having a voice in that, using our scale, if you like, to bring this message of supporting new Romanian acts, I think is something we can contribute and own, and people will associate it very much with our brand. I mean, that's why it's commercially interesting.
Of course. Yeah.
But I think it also gives something back to the music scene in Romania, because otherwise it's easy to support international acts, but someone needs to come in and help the Romanian guys too. As I say, we're not a promoter, but I think if we can do our bit, then why not? We're a Romanian icon.
And of course, and the musicians are not. Musicians are very happy because everybody knows they're not very in love with water or.
Well, I think they enjoy a good beer. I can tell you that backstage, they definitely enjoyed our beers. So yeah, I mean, I think they were quite happy that we're
so the beer can be a fuel for also for fraternal bonds and also for creativity and.
I think it probably can.
Soul hopping, yeah. So. It was a very interesting selection of names and troops and bands. This edition of this Evolution. How did you arrive to this eclectic mix of? We had rock there, hip hop, and also some electro music.
Well, we definitely didn't want to exclude anyone, so we didn't try and choose one genre. We tried to appeal to different people. So our expectation would be that some people would come for the artists or the type of music they liked. And we wanted to say all of it is equal in our eyes. So all Romanian music, whether it's hip hop, rock, electro, is equal in our eyes. And we also wanted to talk about the blending. So we tried to blend and merge two different types of genres in the advertising, but also on the stage with Iris and Puya. So we tried to play up on this and trying to challenge people's perceptions that I'm into rock, you're into electro, and the two of them don't meet. We don't think that's right.
Although we are used here sometimes to have feelings, to live at some intensity along some divisive lines, like in football, for example. There are two rival clubs and their fans, and Puya dressed for a little bit in his performance shirt, one of the two beloved football club shirt. But then we have, like you said, that very rare and genuine moment when Puya and Iris performed together, and it's interesting because it was a moment of reconciliation between not only music styles and philosophies, but also generations, because there are two music styles that appeal to different generations, different social crowds.
And that was important to us. So in selecting the bands and the artists, obviously we had some music journalists and some professionals and my own team who actually chose them. And we decided intentionally to try and provoke and mix up people's thoughts, that I am like this and he is like that. I don't think that makes sense. In terms of managing artists, what they say, never manage animals, children and artists. So
it's a wild bunch.
They are really their own people, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, so you just confessed to us that you work with music experts and critics and producers.
I'm not a Romanian music expert, so definitely.
But by the way, what's your favorite music?
Oh, wow. I like all kinds, but obviously I have a nostalgia for certain types of Scottish music, which are not so easy to find.
The one you have to listen to or play with.
And actually, the Ursus Evolution idea, in some respects, came from a very famous concert in Scotland many years ago with Simple Minds, who at the time were a very big Scottish band, playing in Loch Lomond, which is a very famous lake in Scotland on the banks of with a deserted castle, broken down, and it was incredibly powerful and emotional all through Scotland. And I said to the guys, what great looks like is if we can capture those feelings in a modern and slightly different way in Romania, then I think we're onto a good thing. So, but I like all kinds.
Excellent. Yes, Scotland is like an inspiration, for a source, for many of us. So, how do you estimate the people participation, the Cluj citizens participation, the numbers there, the feelings, the energy? Well,
we were amazed. I mean, the public were fantastic. So on the Saturday we didn't have great weather the whole time, but people, Transylvanians are like Scottish a little bit, a bit of rain, we don't mind. So people braved it, they enjoyed the concert. Our estimate is we got about 50,000 visitors across the 2 days, which is just amazing. We're really happy. People were ecstatic.
And of course they braved the weather that wasn't too friendly. First day of the tour, Saturday was windy, but people were still coming in Numbers, there were some good numbers first day too, like Parazizi, you know,
Yes.
Doban's Doom. And,
The stage at the end was rocking on Saturday night. I can tell you, I was close to it, and it was rocking.
so this was just first stop for Ursus Evolution.
Yes.
Where is it going next?
2 weeks we're in Yash, followed 2 weeks later by Brasov, and then finally Mamaya in August.
Oh, great. So next week, so in a week and a half, you
2
said,
weeks time. Yeah.
we have the great launch, the big launch of the breweries, microbrewery
Yes.
in Ursus.
Mhm.
So how are the preparations? What stage are you now in?
Everything's perfect. So we're all ready. The 7th of July, we have the big launch event with consumers. There'll be like 200 people there. We have a big entertainment show put on. I was yesterday in the mini brewery. It looks like nothing I've ever seen in my life. It looks incredible. So we're super excited.
So this is an advanced sample from that,
It is.
harvest that
an
blend
exclusive,
people will brew,
especially
people
for
will
you.
drink. Yeah. Thank you. And what other surprises are you in store for this moment?
I can't tell you. They wouldn't be surprises. But
No, at least give us some inkling.
well, I can tell you that we've got 4 rooms, and people will be amazed at how different they are. So the brief was that when you enter into each of these rooms, it's like you're walking into a completely different pub or a different restaurant. So people will feel completely different atmospheres, 4 completely different atmospheres in that location. And I think we've succeeded. I think there'll be a lot of surprises with the people who are there and the show. So I think it will be a real adventure for everyone who's there.
Great, we can't wait. So it sounds like it's got to be a theater and museum of beer in the same place.
Yes, I think
And
so.
also the brewing will be visible to people. Also
Completely.
people will be able to see the whole process of crafting the beer.
Yeah, I mean, we want to show the art of beer, how it is, how you make it, and eventually I think we'll invite some people to work with our master brewer to make their own. So maybe there could be Mihai's beer over
So
Christmas.
it's like, yeah, so it's going to be a self-made beer.
And that's an exciting opportunity because we want to demystify and bring brewing to people so they don't need to be master brewers, but they understand the richness and complexity of these
beer
products.
Beer to the grassroots.
Yeah, I think so.
To water the grassroots, to flourish them. So let's wish everybody to enjoy this and thank you again. It was a pleasure, Grant.
Thank you.
Doamnelor și domnilor, vă mulțumesc pentru atenție. O seară bună.